£25,000 a year. It is above the national minimum wage, above the £20,000 salary we covered in the last video, and for a lot of people it represents a meaningful step forward financially. But in 2026, £25,000 still does not go very far in the UK. Once tax, national insurance and pension contributions come out, and once the essentials are paid, the gap between what people earn and what they feel like they have left is still surprisingly narrow. This video is going to show you exactly where every pound of a £25,000 salary goes, what the realistic savings potential looks like, and the smartest things to do with any money you do have left over. Let's start with the numbers that actually matter. What lands in your bank account each month? On a £25,000 gross salary in 2026, here's what comes out. Income tax. You pay 20% on everything above the £12,570 personal allowance. On £25,000, that means tax on £12,430, which works out to approximately £2,486 per year in income tax. National insurance. You pay 8% on earnings between £12,570 and £50,270. On £25,000, that means NI on £12,430, which comes to approximately £994 per year. Workplace pension. At the auto-enrolment minimum of 5% employee contribution on qualifying earnings, your pension contribution is approximately £931 per year on a £25,000 salary. Total deductions come to approximately £4,411 per year, leaving a net take-home pay of approximately £20,589 per year, or around £1,716 per month. Compared to the £1,453 per month on a £20,000 salary, that is an additional £263 per month in take-home pay, a meaningful difference, but perhaps less than people expect from a £5,000 increase in gross salary. That gap is entirely explained by the additional tax and national insurance payable on the higher income. We will use the same expense categories as the £20,000 budget for a direct comparison. Housing. We will use the same £550 per month figure for a room in a shared house, including bills. If you are in a higher cost area or living alone, this figure will be significantly higher and will reshape the entire budget. Food. £175 per month for groceries, cooking at home most of the time. Transport. £80 per month, assuming public transport or a short commute. Mobile phone, £20 per month for a SIM-only contract. Essential monthly outgoings total approximately £825 per month, leaving £891 from our £1,716 take-home pay. That is £263 more discretionary budget than on a £20,000 salary, which is a meaningful improvement. The key question is what you do with that additional breathing room. After essentials, £891 remains each month. This needs to cover personal spending, socialising, clothing, subscriptions, toiletries and savings. For discretionary spending, we will use the same £200 to £300 estimate as the previous video, which leaves between £591 and £691 per month available for saving and investing. This is where a £25,000 salary starts to feel genuinely different from £20,000. On £20,000, the realistic savings window was £100 to £200 per month. On £25,000 with the same lifestyle costs, that window opens up to £300 to £400 per month if you are disciplined. That does not mean everyone on £25,000 is saving £300 to £400 per month. Lifestyle costs tend to expand as income grows, a phenomenon known as lifestyle inflation. The natural tendency when income rises is to spend more on housing, food, socialising and personal spending rather than saving the difference. Being deliberate about this is one of the most important financial habits you can build at this income level. The mathematical difference between £20,000 and £25,000 is £263 per month in take-home pay, but the practical difference is larger than that figure suggests. On £20,000, every budget decision involves trade-offs. There is very little margin for error. An unexpected expense of a few £100s can derail a month's budget entirely. On £25,000, there is genuine breathing room. Not a lot, but enough that an emergency fund can be built faster, unexpected costs can be absorbed more easily, and the choice between saving and spending feels less like a sacrifice. The other key difference is that on £25,000, the case for starting to invest, rather than just save, becomes stronger. With a basic emergency fund in place, redirecting £100 to £200 per month into a stocks and shares ISA starts to feel achievable rather than theoretical. Here's the priority order for someone on £25,000 who has money left over after essentials. Priority 1, emergency fund. If you do not yet have 3 months of essential expenses saved, roughly £2,500 based on this budget. Build that first. This is the financial foundation everything else sits on top of. Priority 2, workplace pension employer match. Make sure you are contributing enough to receive your employer's full matching contribution. As we covered in the pension series, this is free money and should always be the first priority before any other form of saving or investing. Priority 3, lifetime ISA if you qualify. If you're under 40 and saving for a first home or retirement, direct up to £4,000 per year into a lifetime ISA for the 25% government bonus before putting money elsewhere. Priority 4, stocks and shares ISA. Once the above are covered, regular contributions into a globally diversified index fund inside a stocks and shares ISA is the most effective way to build long-term wealth at this income level. Even £100 to £150 per month invested consistently from your mid-20s makes an enormous difference over time. Priority 5, increase your income. At £25,000 you are earning a decent salary for an entry or early career level, but the ceiling on what is financially possible is still relatively low. Investing in skills, seeking promotions, or building a side income creates the kind of step change in financial position that budgeting alone cannot deliver. To bring it all together, on a £25,000 salary in 2026, your take-home pay is approximately £1,716 per month. After essential expenses, you have around £891 remaining. A realistic savings and investment target is £200 to £400 per month, depending on your lifestyle costs and location. The priority order is emergency fund, workplace pension match, lifetime ISA if eligible, and then a stocks and shares ISA for long-term wealth building. And the most powerful thing you can do at this income level alongside good budgeting is to actively work on growing that income over time. £25,000 is a salary you can build a solid financial foundation on. It requires intention and discipline, but it is absolutely enough to start. If this video helped you make sense of your budget on this salary, subscribing takes 2 seconds and means you won't miss a video. We post twice a week on making your money work harder in the UK, and next up we are doing the same breakdown for a £28,000 salary.